Right. Thank you guys for joining. Uh, Myself, Zahid Bashir. I'm a faculty member at Department of Commerce, University of Gujarat, and a PhD scholar at Delhi College of Commerce, University of Punjab, Lahore. Yesterday, I was discussing about grounding theory research design. I have told here, I have told here the brief introduction. I have explained the definition and meaning. I have let you know the grounding theory process. And we have discussed a lot in the process of grounding theory, how it is applied, and what are the specific details about grounding theory process like data collection, initial coding, axial coding, selective coding, theoretical sampling, theoretical coding, theoretical saturation. We have discussed all these things in our previous session. So let me summarize the procedure in my last slide that I have discussed yesterday. I have told that at the initial level, when you collect data, you initially start line by line coding, which is known as the initial coding. So first you need to consider your research objective. Then according to that objective, you start collecting your data. So that is a very important thing in applying the grounded theory process. So first you need to have a research objective, then you collect data, then from line by line coding, you create initial codes like this. You have some visuals of papers here. These are the indications of initial codes that you generate from the line by line coding of your collected data. So whatever the data you collect, you transcribe that data. If I include here the further thing, if I include here the transcription step also, because from transcription, you basically generate the initial codes. Data collection may be in the text format, in the audio format, in the video format, and so on. So when you collect the data, after that you transcribe that data. So that is the part of this process for applying the grounded theory process. So first you have a research objective, then you collect the data in text, audio, or video format. Then you transcribe that data. Then from the transcription, you basically consider the initial codes or line by line code. After doing the initial codes, you basically categorize the codes. Like you see here, the blue rectangles, they indicates that some of the initial codes are relevant to some categories. There might be some codes which are relevant to some specific categories. So you categorize those codes, which is known as axial coding. So blue rectangles here are axial codes. After this, you create the selective codes, which are the core categories. Like if you see here the yellow rectangles, some of the axial codes may also be relevant to some core category. So you basically link up your axial codes to some core category. So it is showing you like a yellow rectangle. After this, you collect more data using your data collection procedure that you have used previously. You collect more data for finding the relationship between categories and core categories. You may be trying to link a relationship between the core categories, like how this core category, how the rectangles in yellow bars or rectangles in yellow color, they may be influencing some other categories. Maybe it is positively impacting this category, or it is negatively impacting this category, or this is positively correlated with other categories on and so on. For checking this, you need to collect more data. And by having finding on these relationships, you can generate your hypothesis. So it becomes the green rectangle. So if you find that this core category may be positively impacting this category, or this core category is negatively impacting this category. So on the basis of this step, you are going to create a green rectangle, which is basically generating the hypothesis, which is one of the most important step in grounding theory process. So whenever you would be able to generate the hypothesis, it means you are going to develop some theory. So as a last step, the iterative process stops. It means this cyclic process stops because every time you collect data and it gives you some new code or new theme or new category, it starts running again and again. But when you realize that new themes or new categories or new codes are stopped generating from the data collection procedure. So it would be the time when the iterative process stops. So it means new data is not coming from the further data collection. It means now you would be able to emerge some theory from your hypothesis. So from the hypothesis, you generate theory when new codes or new themes are stopped generating anymore. So iterative process stops here, and new themes are not emerging anymore. So you finalize your theory here, the red circle. This is basically the process of generating the theory. So this is the whole idea of grounding theory process that you have understand here. This is the practical way. Sometimes if they previously when we do not have the softwares like NVIVO or any other for qualitative research, we can do it through manual procedures like you have seen here. There are some initial codes in the green and the blues, and they have categorized these codes by using red marker. They have categorized these codes like life cycle. You are seeing here X comparison, how methods are constantly work, and so on. So these are the categorization of your initial codes, while these sticky notes are the initial codes here. So this is how you can do it manually. Uh, in the same way, you can see this image also. This has also created some sticky notes as initial codes, and you have categorized this into different parts in order to create some innovative education topic. So this is how it can be done. So how we can collect data in grounding theory approach, how we can collect data if we need to consider grounding theory, how can we collect data? So there are different ways using those ways you can collect data. So data collection technique in grounding theory are focused on gathering rich, detailed information directly from the sources. So here are some common techniques used in grounded theory. The first technique is interview. You already know how to collect data using interview. The second technique is focus group discussion. You can collect data by engaging a group of people in a discussion, which is known as focus group discussion. You can record their conversation, their discussion in a audio format, in a video format. You can record it in a textual format also. You can observe the data as a observer. You can have a document analysis for your grounding theory. You can create field notes. You can have triangulations, and you can apply some sampling techniques and grounding theory. So I will let you know one by one how these things are applied in grounding theory. So let's start from the interview procedure. So you need to conduct in-depth interview. So in-depth interviews are one of the primary data collection method in grounding theory. So what you need to do, researcher conduct open-ended interview. It means that respondents are free, participants are free to provide whatever the response in terms of length, in terms of time they can provide. There is no time constraint, there is no words constraint here. So you need to conduct open-ended interviews as a researcher with the participant to explore their experiences, their perspectives, their behaviors related to the phenomena under study. These interviews are often semi-structured interviews. Semi-structured interview means that whenever some respondent gives some response, some open-ended response, you can ask some different questions, which was not already planned. There are some planned questions which are called structured questions, and there are some unplanned questions that you may ask by hearing the response of the respondent. Some of the question may arise automatically from the response of the respondent. So these are called semi-structured interviews. So these interviews are often semi-structured, allowing more flexibility in questioning and probing for deeper insight. So you need to probe some of uh, the answers here. What are the further consideration? The second thing is focus group, how you can collect data for your grounding theory using focus group. So focus group involve bringing together a small group of participants who share common characteristics of or experiences relevant to research topic. So through facilitated discussion, researcher elicits diverse perspectives, group dynamics, and collective meaning associated with the phenomena under study. So focus group complement individual interviews. You can use focus group discussion if you are able to arrange or gather a lot of people in the same point of time. So you can complement individual interviews. If you think that individual interview may take a lot of time, you can gather a lot of people for a focus group discussion by providing insight into shared understanding, disagreement, or consensus among participants. The next thing is observations. You can use observation technique for grounding theory. Observational technique involves directly observing the participant in their natural environment. This could be done through participant observation where the researcher actively engage in the activity being studied, or non-participant observation where the researcher remain an observer without direct involvement. So there are a lot of methods you can apply here. Observation allows researcher to gain first-hand insight into the behavior, interaction, and context relevant to the research topic. So it may depend upon you what kind of method you are going to use. Then there is another method which is known as document analysis that you can use in grounded theory data collection technique. Researcher analyze various documents such as written records, text, emails, reports, or archival data related to phenomena of interest. If some of the documents are relevant to your topic of interest or phenomena of interest, you can use them. Then document analysis helps in understanding the historical context, organizational processes, and communication pattern relevant to the research topic. So if you feel that some documents can fulfill your research objective, you can use them as a document analysis. As a document analysis, it can provide supplementary data to corroborate finding from interview or observation. The next thing that you can do is to create the field notes. So field notes are written records made by researcher during interview, observation, or interaction with participant in the field. These notes capture detailed description of the event, behavior, conversations, and other relevant observations. Field notes are essential for maintaining a record of the researcher reflections, interpretation, and initial insights, which can later inform the data analysis process. So you can use the field notes if you are easy with it. Then you may have triangulation. This is the process which basically consider the multiple data sources. If you are convenient in collecting your data with multiple sources, you are basically going to use triangulation technique. Sometimes you are convenient in using multiple sources of data, like you are going to collect data from the interview as well as from the focus group as well as from the document analysis as well as from the observation, all at a time. Then it is a mixture of multiple sources of data, which is known as triangulation. So triangulation involves using multiple data sources or methods to corroborate findings and enhance the credibility and validity of the research. So it will enhance the credibility and validity of your grounding theory if you have collected data from the multiple sources. So by triangulating data from interviews, observations, documents, or the other sources, researcher can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the phenomena under investigation and identify the pattern or discrepancies across different data sources. So you can use the triangulation. Then you need to understand what kind of sampling technique you are going to apply for data collection. So grounded theory often uses purposeful or theoretical sampling. This is the sampling procedure that you are going to use. It means you are not going to use the random sampling technique, like simple random, stratified random, or something else. You are going to use purposeful or theoretical sampling, where participants are selected based on their relevance to the research questions. If you feel that a particular group is relevant to my research question and they can feasibly answer the required number of questions, then you can use them as the sample of your studies. Like if I am interested to collect data from the people who are aware with my phenomena, with my research phenomena, I can only use them as a sample for data collection purpose. So I can use whatever the method for data collection would be convenient for them. I can use observation method, I can use interview method, I can use the focus group discussion method, but I need to choose only those people who are relevant to my research question and who have the diverse experience, who can provide me their perspective relating to the phenomena that I am going to study. For example, if I would like to do research on a phenomena which is related to the employees of the hotel industry, then I need to include only those employees who are related to hotel industry, who have diverse experience related to hotel industry. So that is why we are going to use the purposeful sampling in grounding theory. So whenever someone asks what sampling technique you are going to use with grounded theory, always remember that you are going to use the purposeful sampling or theoretical sampling. Sampling continues iteratively throughout the data collection process, guided by emerging concepts. So it is known as theoretical sampling. It means that you are going to consider the sample size up till your concepts are all, all right. There was a small interruption in my internet connection. Now it is restated. So I was discussing the sampling technique that I need to consider only those participants in my study that are relevant to my research question and who have the perspective relating to the phenomena that I am going to study. So here we also apply the practical sampling procedure, that we need to collect the data until the iterative process continues. It means that the concepts are emerging. So, initially, yes, I start collecting data from 20 people, and during iteration process, I came to know that I need more people to consider as a sample, because iteration process is still continue. So I can add more people in my sample. Uh, I need to continue adding more and more people into my sample until the concepts are emerging using the iteration process. And when the theoretical saturation point basically reached, until no new insights are gained, uh, I can start continuing. But when the theoretical saturation needs and I feel that or I experience that new concepts are not emerging, I can stop the sampling procedure. In that case, whatever the sample size is finalized for reaching that saturation point, that would be the final sample. So here you cannot determine the sample size in advance. You can determine the sample size based on the theoretical saturation. Until you are developing more and more concepts, you can continue adding people into your sample size. So that is the things that you need to understand. Then, what kind of data analysis technique for grounded theory you can use? Because we are going to use the NVIVO software for our qualitative data analysis, we need to understand what kind of options we have using the grounded theory in NVIVO software. So NVIVO is a popular qualitative data analysis software that provides a range of tools and features to support the data analysis process, including for grounded theory. Here is how NVIVO can be used for data analysis in grounding theory. The first thing is data management. The second thing is coding. The third thing is coding queries. The fourth thing is matrix coding. Fifth thing is memos and annotation. Sixth thing is visualization tools. And seventh thing is mixed method analysis. So these are the things that you can apply as a part of the data analysis technique for grounded theory using NVIVO. So I will let you know one by one about these things. The first thing is data management. What does it mean by it? And Vivo provides a platform for efficiently managing qualitative data in grounded theory research. It will provide you the facility to import, organize, and store diverse data types, such as if you have collected data on interview transcripts, field notes, documents, multimedia file like audio and video. It can provide you a space for loading all these types of files. This organized data management system facilitates easy access to relevant data during the analysis process, allowing researchers to immerse themselves in the rich qualitative data necessary for grounding theory research. So it means you can import multiple file types in NVIVO for data management. Now, I need to exemplify this part in a grounded theory study exploring the experiences of first generation college student, researcher collect various types of qualitative data. He may have conduct the interview transcripts, he may have field notes, student essays, and so on. So using NVIVO, they can import these data into the software and organize them into separate folders or notes based on data sources like interview, field observation, and so on. So I will let you know when I am going to use the NVIVO. At the first phase, I will let you know how to set up your project, and then I will let you know how you can apply the data management using NVIVO. So you can apply this. This structured data management system allows researchers to easily access and navigate the diverse data set as that could conduct their analysis. Then you can apply the coding method in grounded theory approach using NVIVO. In grounding theory, coding involves systematically labeling segments of the data with descriptive or conceptual codes to identify the pattern, themes, and category. You remember that we need to create three types of codes. The first category is called the initial codes or line by line coding. The second category is called the axial codes or categorization of your initial codes. And the third category is called the core category, which is known as selective coding. So we can apply all the three types of coding in NVIVO for the grounding theory research. NVIVO offers robust coding functionality, allow researchers to create, apply, and manage codes to segment of the qualitative data. Researcher can code data line by line or by larger segment, capturing meaningful insights and facilitating the discovery of emergent concepts or theories grounded in the data. So I will let you know how you can generate the line by line codes, axial codes, and core codes or selective codes using NVIVO for grounding theory research. Example here is after conducting interview with first generation college student, researcher begin coding the interview transcript. Always remember that for coding in NVivo, you need to have some transcript or transcribed data, because transcribed data would be used for coding purpose. You can also consider audio or video file, but in that case too, you need to have some transcription. They identify recurring themes and concepts in the data, such as financial challenges, academic sports, family expectations using NVivo coding tools. So they create code for each theme and systematically apply them to the relevant segment of the transcript. As they progress, new codes may emerge reflecting additional insights or nuances within the data. So you can create codes using NVivo for doing your data analysis. Then you may have a lot of options for coding queries. And Vivo enable researcher to conduct coding queries to explore relationships, patterns, or frequencies within the coded data. So you can apply this if you are interested to explore your coded data. Coding queries in NVivo allows researcher to search for specific codes or combination of codes across the dataset, helping the identify connections between concepts, examine variations in the participant responses, or track the prevalence of themes across different data sources. So you can apply it. These code queries support the iterative nature. You remember this process that you collect data again and again, and there are themes that would be emerged. So it will support the iterative process in NVivo as a nature of the grounding theory analysis by facilitating the ongoing data exploration and theory development. So example, to explore pattern in the coded data, researcher use NVivo coding queries. So it is basically a function of NVivo that you can use to run the iterative process. So they create a query to identify instances where the code financial challenges co-occur with the code. It may occur in some other transcript, academic sport, aiming to understand how financial constraints may impact student access to academic resources. So, and we will generate a report highlighting segments of the transcript or the transcribed data where both codes are present, allowing researcher to analyze the connection between financial struggles and academic support within the dataset. So you can identify the pattern, the themes, the relationships between different transcribed data reports. The next thing is matrix coding. This is another function of NVivo that you can use for analyzing your grounded theory data. So matrix coding in NVivo allows researcher to cross-tabulate codes. So you may have heard this concept using SPSS also. In SPSS, we can create cross-tabulation between two categorical data or two categorical variables. So this option is also available in NVivo, and it allows researcher to cross-tabulate codes with different variables or attributes, providing a visual presentation of the relationship between codes and other data characteristics. So in grounded theory, matrix coding can help researcher compare codes across different data sources, participants, or time points, facilitating the identification of patterns, similarities, and differences within the data. So you can use this approach in facilitating your nuances. Then, by using matrix coding, researcher can gain deeper insight into the relationship between concepts and refine their emerging theoretical framework. So you can use it for hypothesis testing also, because you are going to generate some hypothesis for your theory. So you can test that relationship between the coded data using this technique. So example includes that researcher use NVIVO matrix coding feature to compare themes across different groups of participants, such as students from low income background versus those with the higher income families. They create a matrix in NVIVO with rows representing participant groups and column representing thematic codes like financial challenges, academic aspiration. So by populating the matrix with coded data from each group, researcher can visually compare the prevalence and significance of themes across participant demographics. So it aids in the identification of pattern and differences within the data set. So this is the example that you need to understand with reference to your grounding theory. Next is the memos and annotation. This is another function of NVIVO for data analysis technique for grounding theory. And NVIVO offer features for creating memos and annotations, allowing researchers to record reflections, insights, and interpretation throughout the analysis procedure. So memos in NVIVO can be linked directly to specific data segments or codes, providing a space for researcher to document their thoughts and hypotheses. So during analysis procedure, sometimes you may remember some verbal actions of the participants that particular participant uh, has some non-verbal cues or non-verbal actions that represent that he was not basically agree with our stance, or maybe he's disagree, or maybe he's not happy with a particular question. So you can basically document their thoughts. You can create your stance on hypothesis or critical insights as they engage with the qualitative data. Annotation allow researcher to highlight specific passage of the text or media and add comment or notes, facilitating collaboration and synthesis of findings within the grounding theory framework. So these are the options that you need to apply using the grounding theory process of your NVIVO software. So example includes throughout the analysis process, researcher use NVIVO memo features to document their reflections and insights. They create memo linked to specific codes or data segments, jotting down thought about emerging pattern, potential critical connections, or methodological consideration. Additionally, researchers use annotations to highlight noteworthy passages in the transcripts and add comments or questions for further exploration, facilitating the collaboration and enhancing the richness of analysis. Then you may have visual tools. This is one of the important tools of NVIVO that facilitate your analysis or data analysis in NVIVO using the grounding theory. So NVIVO provides a range of visualization tools that enable researcher to explore and communicate pattern relationship findings within the qualitative data. It includes the word clouds, the charts, the matrices, the graphs, which allows researcher to visually represent coded data, thematic cluster, network relationship. You may have a lot of options here. I will let you know using the NVIVO procedure. You may have visualization tools for data exploration, interpretation, presentation, enhancing the clarity and communicative power of the grounding theory finding. The example includes the researcher use NVIVO visualization tool to create word cloud representing the frequency of coded themes in the dataset. They generate a word cloud based on the financial challenges code with the larger font size, indicating higher frequency of the occurrences. The resulting word cloud visually highlights key themes such as tuition, student loans, and part-time work, providing an overview of the most salient financial stressor experienced by the first generation college student. Then we have the last thing in data analysis technique for grounding theory. We may have an option which is known as mixed method analysis. And Vivo supports mixed method analysis by allowing researchers to integrate qualitative and quantitative data within the same project. So you can have mixed method analysis, which involve triangulation qualitative data with quantitative data to validate and enrich emerging theories or concepts. So NVIVO enable researchers to import, analyze, and compare diverse data sources, facilitating the integration of qualitative insights with quantitative evidence within the grounding theory framework. Example includes, in addition to qualitative interview, researcher administer surveys. Now, the survey data is basically the quantitative data. So it administers survey to first generation college students to gather quantitative data on academic performance and financial well-being. Using NVIVO, they import and integrate survey responses with qualitative data set. Researchers then conduct mixed method analysis, triangulating qualitative insight with quantitative findings to deepen their understanding of the student experiences. For example, they may compare qualitative themes relating to financial challenges with survey data on GPA on financial and eligibility, enriching their grounding theory exploration with the empirical evidence from the both qualitative and quantitative. So this was about the data analysis technique. There is some part that I will elaborate tomorrow regarding the grounding theory, and after that, the grounding theory will be end. So, do you have any question there relating to today's part? I think they do not have any question. So the time for today's session is going to end. So we would have another session on grounding theory tomorrow. That would be the last session on grounding theory, and after that we will discuss